First of all, thank you. If you are subscribed to this channel and you're watching, thank you. I appreciate you. We're a little bit over 2,000 subscribers, which is in and of itself an amazing accomplishment. But uh, I hate to be. It always sounds like when YouTubers do this, like they're begging or they're asked, but I don't view it as begging. Like some people just don't know that they should subscribe. YouTube has been around for so fucking long. So I feel like people should know without being told to subscribe and to support the channel if you're enjoying the content. So please help me subscribe and help get this channel get to 100K, which is the first goal of many. But hey, we're 2% of the way there, baby. And I appreciate you thus far if you're already subscribed. And if you're not subscribed, do it. Keep listening, keep watching. But really, the purpose of this, putting this at the beginning of the latest episode with our guest this week, is that I've been out of the studio for a little bit. And sometimes when you're in a shared space, especially a studio, a lot of dumb people frequent the space and they change things around unnecessarily. And me being in a hurry, I forgot to check all the audio settings before I started to record. So in this episode, you'll hear my guest perfectly fine. Excuse me, he crystal clear. My voice, however, might sound like I'm yelling from another room. I'm going to try to edit it in post. I don't know how it'll sound. Hopefully it won't sound too crusty, but I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of a heads up that it's going to sound different than what it sounds like right now. Right now is what it's supposed to sound like. Like I said, my guest will sound this clear, but me, I'll sound like I'm yelling from the inside of a paper bag probably. But hopefully I can figure it out in post to make it not sound so bad. But either way, I appreciate you listening, watching, and subscribing through all the flub ups. We're just here learning. You know, I'm learning as I go along. So thanks for everything, and enjoy the episode.
The only reason Harriet Tubman was able to free all those slaves is because she wasn't desirable looking at herself. Oh, she had a traumatic brain injury, yo. She wasn't the best looking at all. She's like the ugly looking girl at a job. Nobody cares when the ugly looking girl goes missing at a job. The hot bitch is gone for 2 days, like, damn, where'd she go? So a few people started missing. They're like, damn, now we have a whole crew going because of her. Bro, Harriet Tubman is not the best looking at all. Every black crackhead looks like Harriet Tubman.
Hit the critical James theory, yo. Just so look at the critical James theory, yo.
Hey, welcome back to another episode of Critical James Theory. I am your host, James Knight, and with me in the studio today for the first time ever, I don't know. I haven't. I usually get on people's Instagram to see if I can find more about them, but what I got is very much into soccer. Quietly very shredded. Like,
I really appreciate that. This is a great intro. Can hosts take note of this in the comedy scene? Very into soccer. Underratedly shredded. I've been a Planet Fitness in a year. My legs look completely different from my upper body. But continue. Go King. Go off King. Go off King. Let's fucking go.
You can catch her making the rounds at comedy festivals around the country and in the city. Very funny, Mr. Aaron Bell. Give it up.
Yay! Give it up for me! Yeah, James, it's a pleasure to be here.
Hey, it's good to have you here.
Yeah, it's funny that you said you were really know more about people before. You kind of just briefly scour my Instagram, but I've always seen you in passing, but it's more so on Facebook where I was like, yeah, this looks like Preach Michael Butler's twin right now with dreads. And then I seen you in person, I was like, oh yeah, you still look like Sabre, just way shorter. Because Preach looks like he could still be in an NFL combine shape, like, bam, I'm going to fucking tackle someone. And he gives you that, like, burly handshake. I'm like, damn, dude. Yeah, he's a starter.
I'm on the bench. Like,
yeah,
I'm
it scares me. Yeah, you could be there, second string, third string, just in case it goes out. You kind of always have to be there. NFL injuries happen any single moment. Yeah, but Preach looks like he could just run through a wall. Holy fuck. He's
starting deep defensive tackle.
Any day. He's the new Blind Side in a new era. Like, we need a new movie with that. Sandra Bullock fucked up.
Oh, that's fucking funny, man. Yeah, like that's when I was going through, like, I was like, most times you have like the soccer kid on, and I was like, he's in the soccer. I fuck with that. I don't know a lot about the sport.
So basically, kind of honestly, a lot of my adulthood and childhood is credited to my upbringing playing soccer, because I started playing soccer in the Philly Rec League, and I played soccer at Marion Anderson Recreation Center. It was a predominantly black recreation center, all black players, a white coach named Steve Bandura, and coincidentally, Steve Bandura also had a son and coached that Taney Little League team. That went to the Little League World Series a while ago with Monet Davis. Yeah. So I started playing baseball and soccer there. Soccer naturally was better. Went to Palumbo, played Palumbo in South Philly as well. And then one day, one of our other players got injured. There was a goalkeeper, went in during practice, did really well, and that ended up being my position ever since. Played at Cahawks, Feltonville, and when I was at Feltonville, which is a predominantly Hispanic team, we were just beating all the teams from the suburbs, beating the team in the Philly, beating all the teams in the suburbs. We beat a team from the suburbs that hadn't lost in a year. We beat them like 4-1 in an outdoor tournament. Played them in an indoor tournament, beat them like 10-0. And the coach from that team wanted me to join their team. So for about a year, my grandparents were taking me from South Philly to Bucks County for practices like twice a week, games on weekends, either there or in Jersey or all over, Virginia, wherever. And so after about a year just traveling back and forth, we decided to move to Bucks County in 5th grade. So moved to Bucks County in 5th grade, and was the only black kid in my 5th grade class of 120 students, and kind of just lived in Bucks County up until I was 24, and been back in Philly, and it coincided with me doing comedy. That was 6 years ago. So, but a lot of my childhood is credited to me doing soccer. And when you see me with those jerseys, I don't mean to, if you want to ask questions, you can. Ask anything you want, but like when you see me with those jerseys, soccer's kind of really branching into the world of fashion over the past 5 to 7 years. And even with the Jordan brand, with clubs like PSG.
I got a pair of PSG Jordans. I know nothing about PSG.
And PSG, like they're Nike typically in their Ligue 1 games, which is like their local French league. So there were Nike jerseys there, but occasionally on Champions League games, they wear the Jordan brand jerseys, Jordan here, Jordan there. They have a tracksuit and everything. And, you know, even top, you know, LeBron has an investment in Liverpool and things like that. Soccer's really branching in the world of fashion. So anytime I wear a jersey on stage, whether like you see my profile picture, that's like the Philly Union Pride jersey, and there is other jerseys that I have, like FC Tulsa. There's like a Native American Indigenous Peoples jersey. And so when I performed there, a girl came up to me after the show and she was like, my friend was the one that designed the jersey. Can you take a picture? I was like, oh yeah, this is a dope moment. So grassroots organizations bring attention to soccer through fashion, not necessarily even the top level of U.S. soccer and MLS, but also the lower level. So I kind of want to do that with soccer jerseys. Like there's a lot of culture behind each one, but there's also just a lot of fashion in it, and the colors are so unique in itself. So I kind of just try to do that. So
damn, that's cool as shit. That's way more like thoughtful than I assumed it.
Well, I just think about that thing because you're on stage where people don't want to pretend that looks matter, but like looks do matter. You're in front of a camera. So what am I passionate about? Where I ultimately want to be comfortable on stage, but I want to be wearing things that I like. I bought this for a reason. I'm wearing this for a reason. It's Arizona Iced Tea. I really like the shirt. It's matching. So yeah, you want to look nice. So it's one of those things where it's something I'm passionate about, and I ultimately do want to get into more avenues of soccer, maybe through podcasting, through other areas where it piques my interest, where I can use that for content on social media. And that's even been a big thing where there has been some comedians that have kind of branched into the world of soccer podcasting and has gotten kind of jobs on that, on different things, because social media is the new media in that sense, where how do I want to use my passion soccer and eventually get into that. But just a small thing like that, where if I could go on stage, wear a cool jersey, even just something an audience member compliments, like a riff off of that or something. But there's a lot of, I think soccer is people. It will never be as big as American football, but in the niche groups, it will always be good. And I think there's a lot going on in it that's very positive. It's also a very family friendly sport to go to in this country. It's usually relatively cheap. So
Yeah, I know in other countries. Is it as family friendly in like I'd say like the
no.
UK?
So in soccer in other countries, it's very very dangerous to go to some games. Like the rivalries are times 10. There's nothing compared to it. I'm going to make a comparison between European soccer and European basketball eventually. So the rivalries in Europe, it's like Celtic versus Rangers, Catholic versus Protestant. They hit each other. Boca Juniors versus River in Argentina, rich versus poor. Barcelona versus Real Madrid. That's just the top two teams in Spain. In Argentina, Boca versus River, the fan violence is so bad in Argentina that away fans aren't even allowed to travel to games because the fan violence is that bad. And in Italy and Spain, black players receive monkey chants a lot
I've
of
seen
times,
those, yeah.
despite being some of the top players on their club's teams.
Right.
It kind of sucked. Mario Balotelli was subject to that. He was an Italian player that was black that played for them. So you can represent your country and still receive racism. So it's kind of backwards in that sense there. England is typically a good country kind of when it comes to being the more progressive in that sense. But soccer fanaticism is so wild over there because fans have such a say in even voting for the public officials in the ranks of the organization, voting for the presidents of the club and all of that. So it's not just you lose a game, no big deal. You lose a game, there's consequences over there. So, and like the whole thing, you can finish in last place and get rewarded. And this is kind of a bit I want to work on where it's like we talk about participation trophies in this country. Well, everyone loves the NFL, but in the NFL, you come in last place, you get the first draft picks. That's like the worst employee. Cut this out. I don't want people. Cut this out. I don't want anyone to take this. That's like the worst employee at the job, being responsible for like the new hire.
Right.
Like we complain about participation trophies. Like, so it's one of those things where there's such a thing in losing over there where we don't think about losing because there's no real consequence as much over here as far as fanaticism when it comes to fans. There's always consequence within our organization, but within fanaticism is fan violence. We're going to attack you. We're going to attack the stadium. We're going to attack the fans. It's times 10. It's a religion over there.
Yeah, like that. Like Philly and Dallas is nothing on any of that.
Yeah,
like,
Philly and Dallas has nothing on that. No American sports rivalry has anything on any soccer rivalry over in any other country.
Like the most you get here is you might get a little white kid to call you gay.
Yeah, that's really that's the worst. They call you the N word. That's really it. Like that's. But it's like, but like literally in Turkey this year, a team won 3-2, and the opposing team's fans rushed the field and attacked the players at the full whistle. And one black player stayed and like fought like the fans. It's just like it's nuts. Like it's just like it's really life or death over there, and people don't even have any conscious idea. Yes, everyone hates the aspect of it where it is so soft and it's play acting, and I totally agree. Some of that stuff is like really annoying at times. And even like the women's soccer, like to women's credit, like they play through all that. You know, there's not really much play acting like they do in men's, like falling over, flopping as they are in women's. But it's just one of those things where I feel like soccer is such an interesting sport because it brings people together from so many different cultures where you could have 11 players on the field and from 7 different nationalities.
Yeah.
Which languages are you speaking on the field?
Right.
One player can speak 4 or 5 different languages. The French national team is predominantly black, and most of those players are African. Even some of the white ones or white-looking ones are either Algerian or Muslim. So you never really know. So that's such a beautiful game where you see this, where we talk about immigration, U.S., Mexico. Okay, it's a big thing. Even maybe there's a battle. There's always a battle for dual citizenship in the national team, particularly between Mexican American players. But like throughout Europe, like players have 2 and 3 different nationalities, not only from just living in a country for a period of time, but their parents being from 2 different backgrounds or all that. So it's very kind of interesting. So some of the best men's national teams players for the U.S. are dual citizens, so we try to get those players now. So
that's dope as fuck. Like,
yeah, that's a lot there. I know I kind of hit you with all that. I'm sorry. It was just something I'm really passionate about where I kind of just, bam, nerded out for a second.
No, that's awesome. Like I used to, the only time like I only would get into it like during the World Cup.
I totally understand that. I kind of equate that to how I only pay attention to the big election, like not the local things, even though they're just as important. That's what I kind of equate it to, like because like the World Cup is like the big one, and I totally kind of understand that where everybody's kind of coming together, and like the last World Cup was probably the best I ever witnessed. And one of the most sentimental things from my childhood was my grandmother recorded the entire 2002 FIFA World Cup for me. And that was like my first ever World Cup when I was 8. She got up like super early because the games were in Korea, Japan, and put up a VCR, and I still have those tapes.
Hell yeah.
But like the last World Cup was absolutely the greatest World Cup ever as far as comebacks. Messi ultimately probably sealing his status as the greatest all-time player ever with the World Cup. So I kind of put him ahead of Ronaldo in that sense. But
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I never. Like I don't have any strong allegiances. Like you know,
Yeah.
if USA is doing good, cool. But like, I'm also like rooting for whatever team is the most African. like whoever.
Yeah. That's what usually I tried, but it's always disappointment. I feel like unfortunately,
Usually is like I'm like, all right, is like Cameroon in here still or?
Well, the interesting thing is, and I was thinking about this. The African teams typically tend to be very successful at the youth level as far as world championships. African teams winning the under-17 World Cup youth tournaments very big, things like that. But when it gets to the national stages, they tend not to do well or struggle to get to the group stages. And I don't know where it's a thing where the athleticism has more of an advantage at that young age, but ultimately where African players are ultimately exported to other countries because they're and within their own countries where it comes to their domestic leagues aren't as strong, don't have the best coaches. So the best coaches the African players get is when they go to Europe and other countries versus the current coaches within their own country staying versus you have coaches in England, coaches in Spain, coaches Spanish national team, skilled players. So once you get to that level, the athleticism kind of wanes out. And typically when you have a national team, the national team's coach is usually from that country. But you can get a national team coach from any other country. It can be from any country, but as long as the United States has an American coach, we're never going to get past a certain stage in the World Cup. That's just really how it is. We can have all the players we want. We're never going to... No, we can have all the great players we want. We have the best great players we have as far as American talent right now. We're never going to win a World Cup or get past a certain stage with an American coach because it says something where a country like Morocco, smaller population than us. Maybe I don't know. I don't think they. I think a smaller population than us can get to a World Cup semifinal, and we can't. We can't. We're bow out at the round of 16. But
it makes sense when you put it like that.
Yeah, but also the issue. I know I'm rambling on a lot about soccer. I'm just so passionate about it. I feel like I'm informing you, but I don't want to give you an ear beating. So here, please stop. But the issue with soccer in this country is we have a pay to play system where we're missing out on a lot of people and maybe even minority groups, both Mexican American, African American, and we're not really able to delve into those communities because you have to pay coaches in order to. It's a capitalist system. We have to pay these coaches. You pay thousands of dollars. You go to 3 or 4 different tournaments in a year. I remember one time I was playing 2 tournaments in Florida within 3 weeks of each other, and it was like one was November, Christmas over right before Thanksgiving break or after Thanksgiving break, and 3 weeks later over Christmas break in Orlando. So it's Tampa, November, Orlando, December. You have to have money to go to these different tournaments. And one good thing that the MLS academies have done is because the MLS academies are free and provides oftentimes maybe housing or transportation for kids, so you can kind of get those kids in those vulnerable communities or more communities where it's not as... You can get kind of scouting there and get those kids, and you can kind of help them with the academics as well if they have to school with the academy system. But so much of American soccer is an upper white middle class sport, but it is also very beautiful because you will go to areas where, there's a section in Newark called Ironbound. It's a all Portuguese section, predominantly Portuguese soccer club. And they're like in Newark, New Jersey. You can go to, there's a team in like West Philly or part of Philly called Lone Star. They're like West African or something. And there you can go to so many these pockets of parts in the United States where these small communities of minorities are there within these states. And it's very interesting where there's just so many different backgrounds and culturally when you play teams are like, oh, we're playing an all Hispanic team, they're going to play this way. We're playing black team, they're going to play this way. It's very interesting. So those cultures kind of clashing and coming back around, that's what I always found beautiful about that game. So
yeah, I never because I grew up, there was 2 parts of like my childhood. Like we grew up in like a rural hood in southern New Jersey called Penns Grove.
Okay.
And no one played, so we didn't even.
Okay.
Like I knew what a soccer ball looked like, but we didn't have any.
Yeah.
And then like when we moved to the suburbs in like suburbs of New Jersey in like 6th grade. That was the first time I was introduced to soccer. And I was like, oh, people, like, oh, y'all play this? Like, I thought it was just on TV.
Yeah, it's like the safe little kid sport to play. Yeah.
That's really, I was amazed. I was like, I immediately knew. I was like, this isn't for me. It's way too much running.
Yeah, it's a lot of running.
I need a break.
Yeah, it's a lot of running. I mean, I was a goalkeeper, so I didn't have to do it. But like, still,
I think that was my when we had to play it in like recess. I was like, can I just be the goalkeeper?
Yeah,
like, please.
Yeah.
You know,
but
I don't mind a ball leg. I don't mind it being like whiffed in my face. Just I don't want to run.
Yeah, no, for real. It's like I'll do all the reactions that I want, but I sprint. Nah, I'm good, dude. I'll fake a hammy to get out of this game real quick. Just let me just lay down here and pretend to make some saves.
But it also makes sense, like why like. I think there was just like one picture on your Instagram that you posted. That's where I was like, oh shit, they're shredded. Like,
oh, thank you.
Play soccer, like, and it makes sense that you.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, I don't play currently or anything now, but maybe I was just, maybe I was just like, I just look athletic. I just seem athletic. I just really work in a warehouse the last 3 years, so that's really it. So just like a warehouse body out of nowhere. So it's like that's my real workout because just like my legs are skinny, and I just don't see the point of being like super jacked for no reason. And I walk a lot. I just want to, like, honestly, if I go to the gym, it's because I'm worried about being a fall risk as I get later, because that's what they talk about, where the first thing is your legs. And that's what I'm going to think about. Like, when I'm going to the gym, dude, this is for my mental health and legs. I don't want to be, because, like, once that family member falls, it's like, oh, this is the beginning of the end for them. It's like, fuck, nah, dude, I'm not going to be that. I'm not going to be that early age. I
remember I see my mom fall. I was like, fuck.
That's like step one, dude. Why your legs stop working? What happened? Like, what the fuck? You stop walking. You ever see like when girls they're drunk, their legs they stop working? Like, why you got all those bruises for nothing? Like, fucking just legs just gave out. Like, bro, the fuck.
But that's why, like, I've been back in the gym for a while, because like I've been lifting weights since I was a teenager, but like, you know, being an adult in life and all that stuff,
that's hard.
You get, you know.
Yeah, literally, it's hard to honestly do something when you have to work an 8-hour day. Then you have to probably get up maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours before, depending on where you're commuting. Then you're probably commuting in at least an hour of traffic home, whatever, depending on what you're doing. You're gonna have to eat a little bit. Are you gonna go eat, or you're really gonna go right to the gym after work necessarily? Right. Not necessarily. Even if you went to the gym right necessarily after work, you're not getting home between 6 and 7 after being out of the day since 5. You're gonna eat again, and you're just repeat. Like, there's so much, and I give credit to people who can do those long days. It's just very hard to find time. So it's whatever, and I don't even think necessarily gym always has to be exercise, heavy lifting weights. If you could find maybe body weight squats to do, and I'm speaking for myself where I don't do enough even that, but still it's like it's just movement, body weight squats, push-ups, sit-ups, anything, even like maybe a smaller elliptical something. It doesn't necessarily have to be balls to the walls when you go to the gym, or it can just be an hour or something of what you're doing when you go to the gym, hour and 10, hour and a half. It doesn't have to be an all
just go for like a half hour.
Yeah,
like,
get your body moving, burn some calories, something.
Yeah, like, especially if you're working at, like me, like I worked at a desk job most of the time. When I was working in an office, and like, your body's not meant to be doing this for 8 hours
it's not
straight.
Good. It really
and like,
isn't.
Not only that, like when you're like, oh, it's lunchtime. What are you eating for lunch? It's like you need to get back within a half hour, an hour. So it's like, I'll just go to fucking Chick-fil-A. And then you realize you do a Chick-fil-A 3-4 times a week. And that,
it adds up. One thing I try to do though, even now, is like meal prep in advance, where I try not to go out and get fast food. I don't even typically really even get fast food at lunch. The most I'll get is, if I don't have something for meal prep, I'll go to like Wawa in the morning, either get an Italian hoagie, a chicken tuna salad hoagie, which I've recently gotten twice in a row is good, and then a tuna salad hoagie.
When they hit.
Yeah, and for whatever reason, they give me Wawa coffee for free a lot of times in the morning. I'm like, yo, there's like, yo, you good, fam? I'm like, yo, thank you, I appreciate it. The black woman's like, you good? I'm like, hell yeah. There's a regular customer, or you like me, I don't know, but I'll go with it. Keep on giving me free coffee in the morning. I appreciate it. This thing's $3.29. The coffee that I pour for myself and make should not be $3.29. Stop.
Right.
This is highway robbery right now, Wawa. Like, you're jacking the prices for no reason. Like, this is come on. This is some nuts shit right here. Yo, I went to this coffee shop this morning, and it's just like, yo, do you have to dress like hippie insters to work here? I just said hippie insters to work here, indie hipsters to work here.
That's the name of this episode, dude.
Yeah, hippie insters.
Oh shit!
But like,
it's like, do I have to have a stupid haircut to fucking?
yeah, it's just like, do you have to dress like you constantly thrift shop? Like, you don't have to dress like you have some common sense. 'Cause we're not bringing the '70s back, even though aesthetically the Manson girls, kind of cute, even though they killed those people, kind of cute. Not gonna lie, I always thought the Manson girls were cute, but terrible people.
You definitely have to have a mullet and like those dumb bangs.
Yeah. Oh, stop! Damn, that's pitiful. That's pitiful. God damn. God damn.
The coffee's gonna be expensive,
It's
but
gonna be
it's probably
expensive.
pretty good.
Basically, everybody in Portland. Basically. Well, dude, I was in Portland recently. Everybody looked exactly how I thought they'd look. Is what I'm saying. They were really cool crowds, though. Portland was a good time. Portland was really fun. It was a good ass festival, so I enjoyed it.
Oh yeah, that's a thing that I've been trying. Finally got like a good tape, and I was like, you know what, I wanted to shoot my festival shots out there. But man, them are like, you got to get in early because otherwise them shits are like
you should try to apply
$30. It's like, goddamn. It's like, but a couple months ago it was 10.
Yeah, and you should. Yeah, and that's the thing. They view them based on how they come in, even if they probably don't admit that they do. It's also depending on what you're kind of looking for as far as a festival. And I mean, I've been to some festivals that were shitty, and I've been to some festivals that were good. I've also been to shitty festivals that have helped me get into good festivals, and also helped me find lodging with people to stay in, and all those connections kind of been very helpful. So I usually try to learn something from each one. I do learn something, whether it's travel, kind of try to know how to travel now, the money set aside, which days do I want to perform, what do I want to accomplish as far as why am I performing here? Is it potential to come back and feature at a club in the future? Do I possibly want to move to this part of the country? Am I laying down groundwork here? There's certain, like I said, just mostly like what industry is there, who I can make a connection with, ask this. So that's where I'm kind of more so looking at festivals now, is how can it propel me in the future. And the one thing that I learned is a lot of it does have to do with, social media and following, where it's like, oh, I can hang with these people on stage. They just maybe have been doing it more years, but also have more of a following on social media as well. Yeah. So how do I kind of figure out that aspect? And those are things I learned particularly from this festival, where this is a festival with a good amount of features, a good amount of headliners, and like also up-and-coming headliners and established headliners. And also, when I did the Blue Whale Festival in Oklahoma last year, that was another similar festival like that, and that's probably one of the best comedy experiences I had. Got to perform in Kane's Ballroom and featured for Joe Power in front of like 500 people, so it was a good time. So those were good experiences.
You'd say maybe like the key to festival submissions is
have a good tape, do your research. If you could really, really do your research on it, go on any of their festival pages, online, Google, see how many people might be in the audience, see some of the past performers, what headliners do they have coming. Sometimes those festivals that are a week long aren't the best festivals. Some of the best festivals are ones just Thursday through Saturday, Thursday through Sunday. So many festivals where there's often too many shows scattered out through the festivals aren't really good festivals. If you have a show at 3 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 7 o'clock, there's a lot of those shows aren't going to be full. It's probably some of the best shows are the ones with only 2 or 3 each night, a couple locations within walking distance possibly of where you're going to stay and things like that. So it's all about doing research. It's like hit or miss, and I've wasted sometimes at festivals, but also at the same time, like if you're a comedian, you might want to do this regularly or whatever. There might be a weekend at a club. It was a shitty weekend, but then you go somewhere else. So it's one of those things where I'm kind of glad for the connections that I've made and the groundwork that I've laid, and also just knocking off. Oh, I knocked off this day. I knocked off that day, and seeing how jokes travel is like one of the greatest things, feelings. So.
Yeah, the one I applied to. It was literally the fucking last day I could.
What was it?
Flyover.
St. Louis, Missouri. Yeah. I think I applied to that a few months ago. Yeah. So I applied to that.
So hopefully they don't look at it. Hopefully they don't look at it like when you submitted it, because if they do, but
it's easy to tell. It's like when people say like, "Hey, we're ending the festival submissions today," and then like 2 weeks later, like the acceptance is going out or something. Like it's like they probably didn't look at the last few weeks. So it's one of those things. Like if you can get it in the first few weeks, when it happens. So I try to find like you follow those pages. But
my $35 back fly.
Yeah. I can say that about a few places, but like, it's a good time though. I've going to places I never thought I'd ever be before as a black person, just traveling and telling jokes and meeting cool people. So it's always beautiful doing. And I love just getting on a plane and like, oh, I went here to tell jokes. It's kind of cool.
Feels good.
Yeah, it feels really cool.
I did that like one time. It was a road trip. It was for an improv festival. It wasn't stand up. It still felt like oh shit, like we're like I'm in the car with
Was
Keen.
it was it improv?
Yeah.
Where was it?
Right on Penn State's campus.
Oh, was that with Brandon too? Was he there or no?
I don't think he was there.
Okay.
But it was like me, Marsley, Keen, and the rest of our guys on our team. And again, we were the only black performers there,
Yeah,
but it
that's
still
awesome.
felt like real.
That's awesome.
Real good to just like be traveling for that purpose.
Is that how it is a lot of times, being the only black performance at improv festivals or jams, or what do you typically do? That's very interesting. That's very interesting. Is there black improv groups too, like improv performer online group too, or something?
I think
there probably has to
there's
be.
like a directory. Like,
Fuck all 10 of us in the country. Fuck shit.
Yeah, all right, cool. We're gonna take a little quick break.
Cool.
And we're gonna come back and we're just gonna talk about some theories, man.
Cool.
All
Cool.
right.
Theory.
And we're back. I did want to ask you if you brought with you any theories.
Okay, I had a predominant theory that I've been thinking about for a while, and it's going to be a bit ignorant, but here we go.
This is the best one.
Black History Month. Actually, no, it's Juneteenth. Here we go. Fuck yeah, dude. The only reason Harriet Tubman was able to free all those slaves is because she wasn't desirable looking at herself. Oh, she had a traumatic brain injury, yo. She wasn't the best looking at all. She's like the ugly looking girl at a job. Nobody cares when the ugly looking girl goes missing at a job. The hot bitch is gone for 2 days, like, damn, where'd she go? So a few people started missing. They're like, damn, now we have a whole crew going because of her. Bro, Harriet Tubman is not the best looking at all. Every black crackhead looks like Harriet Tubman. That wide-looking face. She looks like a Flavor Flav descendant. Flavor Flav. Harriet Studman is what I call her. Harriet Studman ran cross country before cross country was cool. She ran cross country. She was so terrible, bro. Harriet Tubman was not a looker at all. Slave runners just sucked. That's all it was. Dude, they were just like trying to dress all fancy. Nah, you can't dress this little black woman. Also, she wasn't even desirable to be. Like, God damn, Harriet Tubman on that $1 bill, it didn't happen at all, bro. Oh my God.
If Harriet Tubman was a hot joint,
Jesus Christ.
He's like, hold on, we gotta track this one down.
Dude, she was not fast. I do not believe it at all. She did not beat anybody in a 40-yard dash. She just moved swiftly at night and blended in with other ugly-ass men. Like, dude, Harriet Tubman is just a fucking modern day crackhead. Like, you see when their faces get all twisted like this, bro. Like,
it's like a little emaciated.
Like, yeah, bro. Oh my God. We've seen at least one of her on the street in Philly. Like,
I absolutely have.
Oh my God, Jesus Christ.
We're starting off June.
This is not good. Harriet Tubman had terrible pussy too, probably. Oh my God.
She had time to devise a plan.
Right. That's why she didn't have to worry about any sexual attention because there was none. Nobody was trying to get in that shit.
She probably told hella people about it.
She was like, dude, I said she had a traumatic brain injury if she fell asleep. She was like the person in the special ed class. You know how you were in gym and they invited like the special ed kids to go in there? There'd always be one that would just run away from everybody and just run around and the teacher would have to go. That was Harriet Tubman. Like, oh, she's just making her rounds. And she just went further and further.
She'll tucker herself out.
Right, she'll tucker herself out. But one day they wake up in the morning and they just happen to take roll call for the first time in like 3 months. And we're like, Harriet? Ah, shit. Or the other crew, it's like,
Thaddeus. Thaddeus?
Thaddeus, what?
Charles? What?
And there would be like probably one little white kid that was actually sensible because he was friends with the slave or something. He also developed a little empathy. He's like, oh, they were gone for months. Why didn't you say anything? Well, you didn't check over here. I don't know.
No one wants to listen to me.
Yeah, I taught him to read. Oh, you did? What?
It's because you had a little crush on that little mulatto girl,
Yeah,
isn't it?
for real. Oh, my God. Jesus Christ.
Shit. There's so much to unpack there.
Oh, Harriet Tubman is wild, dude.
Studman.
Yo, Harriet Tubman is so ugly. Jesus Christ.
Studman. Yo, she was definitely. Yo, she had like an old timey. She had the old timey strap on her,
Yo, she definitely, bro.
She kept it on her too. That's why they didn't fuck with it because they saw the old timey strap.
Right. I was like,
she's like, it's just another.
Fuck Harriet Tubman.
This is another dude.
Oh my God, this was so bad. Jesus Christ. I was trying to tell my white girlfriend this. Oh, don't go.
Oh, shit. She was like, well, I don't know if I should.
I don't know if I can laugh about this. Yo.
Oh, fuck.
Oh my God.
Harriet
Jesus
Studman,
Christ.
dude. Fuck.
Jesus Christ.
Oh. God damn, yeah, because you know she told hella people about her plans. And nobody wanted to listen to
Right.
her.
They told me they were telling me like, nah, there's nonsense. Harry's talking about running away. You best be staying over here. Harry came from nowhere she walking. Oh my God. You're right. We had to guide you to the bathroom. She talking about guiding us to freedom. No damn well it ain't happening. Like, hey, you stupid. Come, I'll see.
It's like, I'll show all of you.
Right.
I'll show you all. I'll be on fucking coin one day.
Jesus Christ. She is wild. Harriet Tubman.
Harriet Tubman was. I've always in the back of my head, like your comic brain is looking at those old pictures of Harriet Tubman. You're like,
she don't look all there.
Nah,
it don't make sense. It don't make sense. I ain't buying the story. I'm not buying it, bro. She a special needs athlete. I ain't buying it, bro. Bro, like, come on, dude. Like, you mean to fool me? She looks like the type of person that, like, you know how, like, when you're a little kid or you just see little kids playing and they just gradually get further, but it doesn't seem like they move somehow and you just look up and they're just gone? That's probably her. It's like you keep her eyes for a second and then she gone, but you don't even exactly how she moved quickly.
It's like one of those kids you had to, you have to keep a leash on in the school.
Yeah.
I mean, like in Walmart or something like that, 'cause they're gone. You
for real.
They're out of here.
I've only ever seen white kids on leashes, though. They happen to be in airports because they always have that, hey, I'm a leash running, and they just get back. I'm like, this kid doesn't need this right now. Like, literally, you're just admitting that your kid's dead weight. I'm sure they behave regularly in a normal environment. That's why you realize in airports how much of dead weight kids are. That's why I don't want kids. You're like, dude, I have to make this journey across Dallas-Fort Worth. Oh, man, I have to get on a train to just go across this terminal. Like, nah, dude. Slaying brand new on leash. Here we go. You're not running off, bro. Here we go. Walk-a-bye baby, whatever you do. Lullaby baby, I don't know.
Oh, my God. That was so much.
Hey. Yo.
Oh, shit. Oh, my God.
Wild.
Shout out to Harriet Tubman, yo. Fuck. That. Oh, man. Because, like.
Yeah. It does not make sense when you look at her. Her height, her stature. Dude, she was not running. She had to use wits. You know what also people said? Didn't they say, like, slaves, they had to, like, carve, like, braids into their hair in certain directions and people would read the other slaves' hair? That would not work. Like, that would fuck me up, bro. How did you know which way the North Star was exactly? Did you make that up? The moon is different depending on where you're standing. That's like when I ask people about Islam, they're like, I'd pray to this way. They actually have a compass, but like, where do you go when you don't have technology at all?
Right.
Like, where do you...
Guess?
Yeah, like, for real. The moon's this way. Keep on going. Like, oh my gosh.
Oh, shit.
They had to be really smart back then. Slave smart and street smart are two different things. Imagine being slave smart and street stupid once you got to a city. Like,
none of these things apply.
Yeah, it does not matter. None of this matters at all. Like, Jesus Christ. I told my friends this, and they were like, yo, they're the slave that she would have left. Harriet Tubman would have whipped me into shape real quickly. Harriet Tubman was like my grandmother's height.
Oh man. God damn, that's so funny. Like, just the visual of like being like the community at the fucking wherever plantation they were at, and like before all this goes down, she's like trying to like get some dick, and everybody's just like,
hard pass. It's like,
I don't know what his first.
pussy for freedom. Oh my god.
He's like, you'll all see.
Yeah,
you'll all see. That's why it happened. That's why it
real.
happened.
She was like, dude, this was just, she hated men in the beginning. It just happened to be the white ones first. Like, that's all it'd be. Take it out for the slave owner.
She's like, I want to free all you slaves. I want to get all the dick I can get.
Yeah, damn.
And she still didn't get any dick
Yeah,
afterwards.
no, not at all. Not at all. Why does she look angry in every picture despite her accomplishments? Like, it makes no sense. It's like an athlete that's never satisfied. It's like Jordan when he talks about going back for his 7th ring. It's just like, 6 were good, but now do you want another? Why are you so pissed about it? He's like, never mad, never good, never happy. I don't know.
Oh my god, dude.
Like, fucking Harriet Tubman, bro.
Harriet Tubman. Fuck.
Dude, this was.
What if it was like? Because objectively, Rosa Parks was decent enough.
Yeah,
Decent
Rosa
enough.
Parks has probably had some cakes. Sat all day. Hers had this cakes. She had a fatty to back it up, bro. They just strategically sat her there. Say,
What if it would have been Harriet Tubman instead of Rosa Parks in that bus?
Oh, damn.
Like, how far would she have gotten?
Oh, that we would not even hear about it at all. Like, nah. Homeless lady on Montgomery bus? Oh, every day. This is a normal thing. This ain't enough to change the civil
When he
rights
brought it
movement.
up, like,
Fuck, I'm spraying. Just get him up. Usually put his name in the newspaper and say, unidentified subjects. A person who shall be named later. We have to read back the autopsy. It's pending. We know we're going to give it anyway.
You're like, I don't know, somebody.
Yeah.
Negro woman. That's
Negro
what
woman. Negro number one. That's how they say to credit black person number one. Have you ever seen Chinatown? The movie with like Jack Nicholson or It's like an old movie. Basically, he was like a private detective. Basically hired to investigate this guy who was supposed to be having an affair by his wife, and it turns out the woman that told him to investigate wasn't his wife, and he actually started having like he realized that the guy ended up dead. He had an affair with the woman's wife, this, that, the other. But the movie was based in Chinatown. They kept on referencing Chinatown the whole time, and I was expecting it to be more racist, but like the Chinese people were just basically like normal workers. And then it just had the scene at the end where the woman died, and all these Chinese people just came out like, oh, like the most stereotypical. It's like, yo, this is no. It was like one of those movies where you looked at the beginning, you're like, oh, a woman's gonna get hit in this. It's like one of those movies she's gonna get bitch slapped 4 or 5 times, and it happened like an hour and a half to it, where you just like bitch slapped her 4 times in 3 seconds. Slammed her head up against the wall, and somehow she's still fine.
He's like, I deserved it.
And then somehow the actual man that did something never got one punch in the face. I'm like, this is no retribution at all. Like those old timey movies. It was one of those movies that wasn't in black and white that you could tell just barely missed the cusp of being in black and white. Basically, what it was. It was one of those movies where you looked at it and were like, yo, Clint Eastwood, what it is? He was making way more racist. He did Gran Torino for the sake of just doing Gran Torino. I liked it the first time I watched it. The second time I was like, oh, this is racist as fuck.
The first time I watched it, I was like, this isn't a comedy, right?
This is wild. I've heard so many terms that I didn't want to hear.
What is this word?
He also just manipulated scenes to say racist shit, because there was like one time the Asian girl and her white boyfriend were walking back, and I guess like the black dudes like jumped or whatever, and then he's like, oh, you spooks or something like that. Like, I never even like, whoever, what? It's like some 1930s term. You ever hear something? It's like the first time I heard the term spear chucker in South Park and laughed. I'm like, this is surprisingly hilarious. I'm more I was like, a spear chucker? I was like, what? That's so cleverly racist. I'm like, okay, touche.
I will say that reminded me of the time my younger cousin, I don't know where he caught wind of it. At I guess maybe he had heard somebody call somebody this and where he lived, and he brought it to us. And it was so fun. It was so funny the first time I heard moon cricket. He called us.
Wait, what does that mean? What does that mean? That seems like a southern term. That seems like a southern term to moonshine. You fucking moon cricket.
I knew it was. We both knew it was racist, but he called us that, and I could not stop laughing.
Yeah, what origin is this? Like, and then, where did you come up with this?
And what's funny was he did it again around like my grandfather. Like my grandfather was within earshot. He's an old black dude. and he heard it, and I guess it triggered something in him because apparently it wasn't old, just like a forgotten racist term. And boy, did he lay into us.
Really?
Oh my god! And like he literally gave us like a lesson in like etymology of the word. And I was just like, okay, it's not funny. It's kind of funny, but like
so in short terms, what does it mean?
It was basically moon cricket, like crickets. I guess they came out more at night.
Oh, okay.
And they make a lot of noise.
Oh, black people. Come on, like
black people make a lot of noise at night, apparently.
Yes. Well, anytime anybody says riff raff on podcasts, I know exactly who they're talking about. There's a lot of riff raff. Oh, niggas.
That and really, there's a lot of riots.
Yeah, a lot of riots.
It's like, hold on, that wasn't nothing.
The neighborhood starts to change in this part of the city.
Right.
It's a little darker. Or the elements is one of the elements.
It's like every like rich comedian who moved from LA to Austin.
Yeah, it's like, basically everything they're saying.
They're just like, the neighborhood got real.
Yeah, iffy.
It just was different. It changed.
Yeah, but over there. Oh my gosh. Jesus Christ.
God, what a... God damn it. That was so fucking funny. Shit, I need to regroup.
But Harriet Tubman.
Harriet Tubman. Fuck, man. Dude, Studman.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Like, I just imagine, like, a movie where, like, Harriet Tubman gets transported from her era to current era, and she is a stud.
Oh,
she's trying to navigate that world.
Oh, yeah. It's like, where do I fit in? Am I a track star or a basketball star?
Right. She's like, so I have to, like...
I have to do what now?
Why do I have to wear the full Dickie suit?
Yeah. It's like, Yo. Do-rag or no do-rag? Yo, she was not a looker. Not she looked always disappointed.
This is like, I ain't got no dick face.
Yeah, for real. This is years of repression and suppression in many ways.
And shout out to Harriet Tubman.
Yeah,
like,
cheers.
If she transported from her era to this era, I would see what I could do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, the motherfucking thing of me.
You know what I mean?
What if she started the Back to Africa movement from her ass? Like, we all get on planes. Bro, it's like when you go to the airport and you see the Amish and a Mormon together, like there's a cult of you literally leaving visibly in front of everyone. Right. Pop that pussy for a real nigga. Let's go back to North Africa. Yo. God, her ass. Oh, Harriet Tubman probably... You think she had a fatty? You think she would start to go to have a gym membership today or not?
She would like.
I think she would have a lot. I think she would have a lot of competition from some Instagram models though. Some Instagram models. There's a dude named Speed that's a YouTube star. You think she ain't gonna have competition with that motherfucker?
If Harriet Tubman came to this area and she found out that you could grow an ass in the gym, she would focus all of her efforts on. She's like, oh, I will not be denied 2 eras.
And then she become a celebrity boxer too, because that's what everyone's doing, bro. She'd fight Ronda Rousey in a crossover match. Harriet Tubman would be in the WWE, bro. She'd be running that entrance like
Harriet Tubman running.
Right.
This is a steel chair, Harriet Tubman. That's a steel chair.
Right. You see Harriet Tubman running back through the Alabama boat incident.
UFC Harriet Tubman.
Yeah, Harriet Tubman would be wild, bro. Harriet Tubman would be the Mighty Mouse of the UFC, bro. Harriet Tubman is wild.
She's definitely a
Harriet Tubman, yeah, definitely. Harriet Tubman knows some karate. I feel like Harriet Tubman knows some judo that we don't know. Harriet Tubman probably does some kickstands. You ever see that the MMA where the dude will stand on like one thing? Like I feel like Harriet Tubman knows that. I feel like Harriet Tubman is dynamic. Harriet Tubman would not be normal in the Bruce Buffer entrance where Bruce Buffer in the corner fighting all the way from the south.
She's full Eddie Gordo. She's like doing tacking ass moves.
Yeah, right. She couldn't just stand there normal and just mean mug. The person goes over to fight and she's like. All the same pictures that she looked like, she'd be looking like that in the stare off, bro.
Like when they do the stats,
right?
It's just her in that same picture.
Yeah.
Harriet Tubman, man. She's the June 1st. She's catching hell strays. So many strays.
I mean, we is free, but
this is what it's for. You wanted us to be free, and here we are.
Yeah, respecting our freedom, Harry. I'm sorry, bro. It just happened to be a holiday like we officially established a few years ago, but okay. We don't have enough time to do this in February. I wasn't scheduled then. I don't know. We gotta make up for lost time, Harry.
Oh man, holy shit, Harriet Tubman. We love you. Fuck. Oh man. Fuck. I gotta regroup. Shit, man. This has been great. This has been fucking the most I've laughed in a
No, I was about to say, Harriet Tubman looks like she can also be reincarnated into an animal, bro.
Anamorph.
Yo, she looked like Hocus Pocus. Oh my god, she looked like that cat Hocus Pocus, bro. that Binksy.
Oh.
Yo.
Oh shit.
Yo.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Dude. Oh
man.
I would.
Shit. Holy fuck.
I'm gonna ask at the end of every show. I like to ask about like these 7 questions to everybody, and I'm gonna restart the cameras. We're gonna ask these questions before we wrap up. We are regrouped. So yeah, I like this. It's about like what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's about 6 questions. I like to end every episode with some silly, some fun, some serious. So first question: drums or flats?
Drums.
Drums.
I like drums.
My man.
I like drums.
My man.
You know what I don't really like either? That I forget the term of them. Wingdings, depending on what the wings like. If depending on the size of the wing, that's really depends on. But if it's a small wing ding, you might as well not even have it attached. That's just basically a regular wing. And I'm also I'm the type of person I just try to chew it down to the bone anyway. Respect. I prefer drums.
Respect.
Than flats. I feel like I get more flats than drums, but I prefer drums than flats.
Yeah.
Like the ShopRite chicken's really good, and I have to resist that all the time.
ShopRite chicken is fire.
It's underrated.
It's very underrated. And with flats, the best way to eat flats is you turn it into a drum.
Very true. If you can.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
You can like just umbrella it up from one end to the other.
Oh yeah.
And then you dip it. It's easier. Yeah. Like drums are easier to dip.
Very true.
Like
honestly, I feel like ranch and blue cheese have grown on me as I've gotten older, just because I feel like it's an acquired taste sometimes, but I feel like I don't mind it as well. There's some very good wings choices we have in Philly.
Hell yeah. This is a great way to start out because everybody's just like, oh, flats, and it's not the right answer.
Yeah. Yeah, for real.
So, what time does your body naturally wake you up, like without any alarms?
Oh, dude, I suck at sleeping. I usually will go to sleep anywhere between 11:30 to 12:30, and then wake up at like 2:30 to 3:30. Honestly, I'm gonna sleep well the next 2 weeks because I finally have weed. I'm very marijuana dependent on sleeping, but my body sucks at sleeping naturally, and it's honestly something I worry about in the future just because my mom had like Alzheimer's and dementia, and I know she walked like a lot of multiple jobs, and I know even with comedy, sleep can be a hard thing to get. Yeah. So I should really honestly be going to sleep anywhere between like 10:30 and 11, but sometimes I just push it to 11:30 simply because I know I might wake up anyway. So I'll get up at like 6 to 6:20, and then I'll go to work and arrive usually at 7:25 because I work in Camden. So it takes me about like 25 minutes to get to work, which isn't too bad. So if I could ideally get to 6 to 8 each day, it would be perfect. Yeah. But even just waking up with the sun now, the weather's getting better. I enjoy it, so it's good.
Shout out to Camden.
Yeah.
You don't go there unless you have to.
Yeah, for real. No need.
Man. My cousins are going to hear this. They're fucking born and raised. They're gonna
I had a grandfather in Camden, but he got out when I was younger. He married out. That was the whole thing.
Good for him. So what's your morning routine?
Morning routine is wake up. I usually wake up, roll out of bed, brush the teeth. I usually make a bagel with peanut butter, put that already in my lunch so that I have meal prepped. Then I typically go down to Wawa near me, get a Wawa coffee, and then hopefully for free. You get the You Good fam, I'm good. Try not to peep some wild shit that happens in there. There's always some wild shit that happens, either with some homeless people or people are going to say on the house, no, they're homeless, whatever. In there, it's going to happen, some wild shit. But you go back to your car, go to Camden, New Jersey. I work there, 7:30 to 4. Get off 4. Come back, and I sometimes will go to a mic or just chill at home, relax, maybe getting some writing done. But typically Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 4. As I said, on weekends, I typically really do like my routines, and I feel like I'm becoming a good old man, and I really like it. It's just the simple things, getting errands done, meal prepping, laundry, so that you can have a relaxed wind down Sunday and just be cool, calm, and mentally prepare for the week. I try not to do comedy on Sunday. Yeah. It's just my thing where it's like, why? What's the point? I just want to relax where I can. I'm doing a little improv thing tomorrow. So I'm going to go there, a little improv jam. It's a free thing. It's something I want to kind of get comfortable doing, and I feel like that's something that could actually help me as a comedian, learning to do that skill, being more comfortable, and just naturally flow and being kind of fun and act outs and being comfortable in the act outs and things like that. So I feel like it's a good little skill to have, but also get to see some friends and enjoy it. It's very low stakes, so that's typically my routine.
Yeah, I'll always, that's where I started, and I'll always tell comics to like just take a jam, to go to a class, like a free workshop, something. Yeah. Because like you learn so much to like get out of your head and just get into your, like, sounds hokey, but just like get into your body, like, because like the moment you realize, like, the moment you've, like, in improv, like a moment might call for you to be a cow. Yeah. And then you just have to be a cow. And you have to act it out. And also right. Your physical presence as well. And I feel like that's the benefit of not having a microphone. And you know what, one thing I've learned, either through having to do a few mics without microphones, or even doing the night shift show with Daryl, Charles, and Keen, they're doing improv without mics. Why am I doing a stand-up set with a mic? And every time, both times I've done it without a microphone, and I felt more free to do act out and enunciate my voice and being more in the moment, because I'm not so held to a crutch. I don't necessarily have act outs that need the microphone anyway, so it's no use of it when it's just here and present in the moment. I typically hate when I see like those stand-up specials that have, like, you know, the headset microphone, but at the same time, how much more free are those people on stage to move around, and you have to enunciate your voice almost in a way, whereas I feel like that involves more act outs. I genuinely kind of enjoy that, where that's making me more comfortable, where it's like I'm getting into it, I'm getting kind of angry, I'm moving my hands involuntarily just to kind of gauge your attention, more so than I have a microphone, it's going to tell the jokes this way, and it's almost going to help me, where it's like it's a crutch where this kind of helps me. So having that movement and getting comfortable to act out, I feel like it's other things I kind of want to do. Yeah, hell yeah. I'll always support that. And stop shitting on improv. Giving improv strays for no reason. It's like, yes, we know. Sometimes sometimes it's very bad. But like. Sometimes so is stand-up comedy too. Sometimes I would say for improv, it's just hard for me to follow a scene, because the scene has so many layers sometimes in it, where I feel like that can be hard to follow. But there's still funny in it. But it's bad though. It is. It is really bad. And I've been a part of that. I've been a part of something that's been really bad. But it happens. Chalk this one up. And this can mean with whatever career that you choose. It can mean your comedy career, your personal life. So, 3 of the most important people to your career. 3 of the most important people to my career, I'd say Lump Hamilton. I would say Matt Butler, because he's the one that helped me and informed me to go to Philadelphia Comedy College after me doing comedy for about almost a year, and I wasn't planning to go to it. And he was like, "Yeah, the first class is free." Met Ray Gordon and Keith, and saw that I was going to get hands-on teaching from them for the next 7 to 8 weeks, and it was one of the best experiences and decisions I've decided to do. Because it just kind of gave me the confidence to be myself on stage, and I'm continuing to do that and learn more about myself and wanting to get comfortable. So I thank Matt Butler very much for that. And third is tough. So I said Lump is my mentor more so than anything. I'd say he helped me really kind of get Comedy Works
He taught me under his wing. He was there when I first featured last year. He's a person that I go to for anything or any advice. I even left him a voice message about a premise earlier today. So he's a good guy, and he's a generally good person for everyone. And I was glad that I was able to do a show with him 2 months ago. I hosted it. I was able to sell it out. He headlined it. It's always good to see him headline. And he really has that motor and muscle to keep on going, and I love him. Third is really... Yeah, life's ugly, money problems. I love it, man. I love it. He's the man. And third, that's tough. Third is tough. I don't know why third is tough. I feel like it's never really so simple for me after like the last one. Third, I don't know. Most important person in my comedy career. Can I be narcissistic and say me?
Yeah,
Can I just say
absolutely.
me? Simply because like I was never really one of those people that always wanted to be a stand-up comedian. I honestly did get it through the white podcasting world where I was like looking at these podcasters and I was seeing like, oh, there's so many people from these cool different backgrounds, race, sex, gender. They get to come together, have these conversations. They get to go out and do stand-up comedy and then kind of collaborate with each other. So the camaraderie is kind of what like drew me in. The art is what kept me. And I'm very appreciative of so many different friendships that I have all throughout the comedy community, not only in Philadelphia, but around the country as well, where I could say I have friends in Iowa. I could say I have friends in Washington, New York, Wisconsin, crazy places that I've never thought I would even ever go. So I'm very fortunate for that, and I continue to meet people. And the first thing I do when I go to a city, order an Uber, find the black people. That's really where you do what's it like over here, and then you kind of have those conversations with people. Might be a bit expensive, but it's all kind of worth it, and I get something out of it each time. So I'm very thankful for, like I said, anytime I get to get on a plane to do this, anytime someone tells me they appreciate my jokes. Sometimes they tell me they see me develop. Anytime I get to get on stage, and I just want to continue to see where I develop over the next few years. And I'd say, like, I love it. I love it. Even there's always wins, there's always losses, but I love it. So it's just kind of enjoying that process, but also seeing where the next point in my career and where I want to go with that and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, man. No wrong answers. It's always good to give yourself props, too. And the final question, and arguably the most important question, the greatest cereal of all time.
The greatest cereal of all time. It's hard when I'm eating Lucky Charms in front of me right now. It's kind of crazy. I feel like I'm a little biased in the moment where I'm eating Lucky Charms. They're not even chocolate Lucky Charms. The chocolate Lucky Charms are good because they take basic Lucky Charms and turn them, oh, this is like chocolate milk.
They're not even like really Lucky Charms. They're like Fortunate Buddies. You know what I mean? They're
for
like
real.
The bag joints.
Yeah, this is just you said Fortunate Buddies. That's what it's called. The knockoff brand. Tony the Liger. I would say ultimate cereal. It's kind of I don't eat cereal as much as I used to. I used to eat oatmeal a lot. I fell in love with oatmeal a lot as a kid. I feel like I alternate cereal on and off. I have to be biased. Maybe Lucky Charms just right now for the time being is right in front of me. I didn't even think about cereal. But also me eating cereal right now dry is because I'm high. This is all a high bias. I could change this any moment. I just saw this in the kitchen. I'm like, yo, I'm high. Let me put this in a cup. I don't need milk. I feel weird even thinking like I'm not going to finish this in the time we're going to finish this now. I'm going to walk outside just with Lucky Charms, walk next door. Dude, I look fruity as shit. It's Pride Month. I got this on. This looks so gay right now on June 1st. Disrespecting fucking Harriet Tubman, all she's done for the world. This is crazy. I'm a wild boy out in these streets. I'm not taking any of this seriously. Well, dude, I got Lucky Charms right here. We got the little marshmallows. Taste the rainbow. Wow, I didn't even think about that. That's what they said. Boom,
Day one.
360.
Day one of Pride, baby.
Really, it's crazy. It's nuts. Kicking it off. Bam. Yeah, it was kind of crazy. So a few nights ago, I was coming back from a bar with my girlfriend, and she had a bike, and I was riding on the back of her bike, which is not usually the way. And then we were riding around a corner, and a gay dude saw me and my girl. She's like, y'all so unserious. And then just kept on walking. And we just both started cracking the fuck up. It was like, yo, we can't even be mad at that shit. I was feeling like a passenger princess behind her. I was like, yo, I can get used to this. Be my chauffeur, white lady. Take me everywhere. This is cool.
What a perfect way to end the podcast, yo.
Yeah.
Aaron Bell, where can they find you, man?
Thank you. You can follow me at Aaron Bell Comedy on Instagram, Aaron Bell Comedy on TikTok. You can find my videos on YouTube. I'll have a couple shows coming up this month. Not exactly sure the dates and times off the top of my head, but I'm sure I'll be posting it. Thank you so much for having me, James. This is very awesome. Very good getting to know you. So
Likewise.
for real, good time.
Likewise, you're welcome back anytime.
Thank
man.
you for having me.
Y'all know where you can find me at James B. Knight on all the social medias. Patreon.com/Critical James Theory if you want to support that way. The easiest way to support is just to hit the subscribe button, please. Yeah, and we're going to end this the way that I always end it, with the quote from Brandon Mitchell. Bye, niggas.
Bye.
James Theory. Hit the Critical James Theory, yeah. Just start looking at the Critical James Theory, yeah. Hit the Critical James Theory, yo. Just start looking at the Critical James Theory, yo.